Hey everybody, Sean here from BoredParacord, and today we're going to create this really cool looking baseball inspired bracelet. It's got the red stitching like on a baseball, and I suppose you could even use our neon yellow paracord with the red stitching to make a softball look to it. It is micro cord and 550 cord. So let's get started. Alright, let's get started. So we have our 1/2 inch white buckle, we have our white paracord, and I have about 7 feet of white, and this is micro cord. This is red micro cord, and I have about 5 feet of that. Don't need a whole lot of cord for this bracelet. The setup is unusual. It's a little different than what you're probably going to be used to. So the first thing we want to do is put this cord onto the buckle. And I want to pull off about 2 inches longer than the length of the buckle or the bracelet that you're making. And we'll go over that and why in just a second here. So it doesn't matter which side of the buckle you use. I like using the big side of the buckle first. I'm going to create a loop where I want to do the cow's hitch, and the loop is about 2 inches further than what your bracelet length will be. So this loop here is what we're pushing down through the top of the buckle. The loop that you push down through the buckle, you're just going to open that up and flip it over top of everything and pull it through. Pull it tight. And that should give you a cow's hitch, just like that. So you should have something that looks like this. Little tail here. And then a really long piece here. This is all this right here. Now the next thing we're going to do is you're going to string the smaller piece up through here. Like this. And you're doing this from the back side of the buckle. And you only want about 1 inch coming out. Let me zoom in on that for you. Here we go. And then grab the other end. Do the same thing. Pull that all the way through so that you're left with 2 loops of white right here. Just like that. Now this is a little bit shorter than I wanted to do, and one way you can check is to open this up at this point, and you're going to measure from this edge here, so right where my finger ends and the buckle begins, to the very end of the buckle over here. And that's going to be the length of your bracelet. This one's pretty close to what you will actually be measuring on your wrist. So I think I want to go about here. And what you're looking to do, you want to make this part here, that's going to be hidden by this cord crossing over it like that. So you want the end, and if you have a lot more than this, you can cut it. But you want the end to be about 1/2 inch to 1 inch long, right there. Because like I said, we're going to be covering that with this cord. And if it's not quite where you want it, you can cut a little off. I think I'm going to do that actually. Yeah, that's about right where I want it. So I'm just going to cut just a tiny, tiny bit off. Just like that. And we're going to fuse the micro cord to the 550 cord. And all I'm doing is I'm going to take my little torch lighter here. We're going to create a bubble of paracord on both of these and then stick them together. And I apologize, like I always say, it's really hard to see the flame in the videos. And it's really hard to see it in person because these bright lights are so bright. And then you're just sticking these two together. Try not to move while it's drying because it'll create a weak point. And once they're in there, it's in there pretty good. I'm giving it a pretty good tug there. So where you want this to cover. So, and the only reason I want to say that you want to cover this is because it's not the best looking thing there. So the red one, I'm going to take off to the left side. Oops, just like that. We'll get that pulled back to where it goes, right there. Now this major working end, you're going to cross over. Let me make sure I'm nice and focused here. I think that's good there. We're going to cross right over top of that and go around the back of everything, out the other side, and I'm going to grab the end of it, the end of the white. So we have a loop that basically goes around everything, and then it goes behind all the cords. And then you're going to take this end and go under this one, but over that fused part. It's kind of tricky. And then out the right side. So basically you're just going under this and then over the fused section. And what this does, this is going to lock everything together, but also cover that fused area. And if you did it right, you should have an X. See the X there, kind of? Just like that. And we'll just double check. Now the fuse section is almost all the way covered. You can adjust it by pulling this through and then tightening it up one last time, just like that. Alright, so we got that done. That's the hardest part of this whole thing. I know it takes a little bit of time for that, but once you get to this point, it's pretty easy sailing from here. So your white cord, basically all that's going to do is zigzag behind the cords, the center cords like this, and this red micro cord is just kind of, do a couple little jumps and different things. So the first thing you're going to do is create a loop on the right, just like that. Now your red cord is going to go behind everything. So bring your white cord off to the left. Now your red cord is going to go behind everything. And then it's going to come up through the middle gap here, but below where the white one crosses. And then it's going to go up and down through that loop there. Just like that. And you're going to want to pull this tight. Now the tightening could be a little tricky on this. You want to make sure that you're not pulling the white too tight. Now the red one you can pull pretty tight, because that's the one that you really want to tighten everything into it. Alright, so we're now going to create, just like we did on the right, we're going to create a loop on the left. Take the red one behind everything. So we'll bring the white over here. So we have the loop on the left. The white is behind the center strands. Your red one's going to go behind everything, come up through the middle, but below where the white one crosses behind, and then poke the red down through the loop on the left. And this is going to give us our red stitching like on a baseball. So I like to pull the white loop through first, and then reach behind and grab that red one and really give it a good tug. And then you can pull your white one tight. There we go. You should have something that looks like that. For some reason the red's not showing up too well. I don't know if I can maybe lighten that up a little. Alright. So we've got the, now it's time to do the loop on the right. Bring the white through. The red's going behind everything, up through the middle, cross the right center strand, and then down through the loop on the right. Pull the white first. Now you don't want to pull this so far that it goes behind the bracelet. See how you can't see that over there? You want there just to be a tiny little bit of a loop over here. Just like that. And then go ahead and pull that red nice and tight. Alright, we'll do a couple more here. And then I'll finish this up and I'll be back. Loop on the left. The red comes up through the middle, down through the loop. Pull your white, give a tug, put the white one where you want it to go, and give that red one a good tug again. Now you want your last loop, your last white loop, to look like the previous one, so that those are nice and uniform all the way through. And we're back to the loop on the right. Red comes up from behind through the middle and then down through the loop. Just like that. Tighten up that one and then pull your microcord tight. Now you can also use 550 to do this, but this way is going to give you a really cool kind of baseball effect look to it. You can kind of see it starting to do that right now. If you look at the baseball, the stitches don't line up on both sides with each other. They kind of zigzag, and that's, I've been trying to think of a way to do this bracelet. And then I remembered the other side of it is actually a paracord pattern, and I was like, well, what if we just use some microcord? And this will actually turn out really nice when it's done. Alright, so I'm going to finish this on up, get down to the bottom here, and then I'll show you how to finish the bracelet. Alright, so you can see I'm down to the end of the bracelet here. This looks really nice. This turned out way nicer than I thought it would. I've gotten so far on here where I can't just push the paracord through those center strands there, so I'm going to end up having to use a fid here. And this is the micro fid because we're using microcord. So I'm just melting the microcord enough to where it will screw into the back of this fid. And it's a little tricky. There we go, that should work. So the back of the fid is threaded, so it allows you to put some cord into the back of it. Alright, I think we have enough room for 2 more passes. And you can see I've kept these loops all pretty even the whole way. That's the most important part. So from the back with the fid, we're just going to bring this up, up through the middle, and then down through that loop. Now if you don't have a fid, another alternative to a fid would be to use a pair of needle nose pliers and just go in the opposite way with the pliers. So if you want the red cord to come this way, you go down with the needle nose pliers through the middle, grab the cord, and pull it through. So that's an option. And I've also seen where people will take this microcord and they'll melt about this much of it into a solid piece, and it ends up being like a lacing needle, just like a fid as well. Alright, so I think this is going to end up being my last one. Fid makes it nice and easy to work with. Alright, so with this one being the last one, what I want to do is I think I want to end the white over here. Let me zoom in on this. We're going the wrong way. There we go. So I want the white to come across and go through this loop so that I can end both of them in the same spot. So I'm just going to take the end of the white down through this loop, and it's going to cross over the top. Just like that. And then we can pull our red, pull the white nice and tight. Like that. And the back looks really cool too. But this is what we're going for. Alright, so we have both of our pieces of cord coming out right here. We're just going to use our scissors. And if you don't have a really nice pair of scissors, check these out. These are really nice. These are the Fiskars. I think these are the Amplify, but I could be wrong. We have 4 or 5 different pair of scissors up on our website, and those are one of them. All of the Fiskar products are incredibly sharp. Incredibly. Alright, now I'm just melting this down so that it fuses with the cord that it came through. And I think I'm going to use the smoothing tool on this one. There we go. It kind of locks it in place. So we're all finished. Everything that you see here that I used in the video is available on the website, BoredParacord.com. That came out a little smaller than I had anticipated, but that's okay. It's always trial and error, making sure that you get the length right. But yeah, check us out, BoredParacord.com. And if you're on Facebook, TikTok, or Instagram, look us up under the same name, BoredParacord. And on Facebook, join our Paracord group. It's got 40,000 members in there or something like that. There's always somebody posting something really cool, creative. It's facebook.com/groups/paracordon. And until next time, paracord on. Do me a quick favor and hit that subscribe button to your left. There's other great videos all the time, and there's a few to the right side of the screen, and you can also buy Paracord at our site with the link at the bottom left. Thank you again for watching.